Hello, this is Lisa Rusczyk.
And Donna Murphy.
And my crazy hair. And this is the podcast We're All Psychic. And look who's here, listeners, it's Julia. She's back, Julia Harrell. How are you, Julia?
I'm doing groovy. How are you?
Groovy. I'm groovy too. Donna has a question for you that you've answered many times, but she would love to ask you because she's never asked you.
Shoot.
Right. So I get to ask this time. Julia, do you think we're all psychic?
Yes, indeed I do. It's our birthright. It's built-in standard equipment.
That is right. I agree totally. I endorse your comment. Your answer. So listeners and watchers, it's been a while since Julia's been on. And if you don't remember, if you haven't seen her, your specialty is still being a psychic to the psychics, basically, right? You coach people who are in the field. That's how I remember when you first came on the show. You were specializing in helping people who are already doing readings in the field. They need someone, right?
Well,
to go to and help.
That's a smaller niche, but that definitely comes in. I'm a clairvoyant teacher, so I teach everybody to open their own natural abilities. So if you're going, oh, I'm an empath, I feel too much, I have to go and disappear instead of going to the party. No, you can just adjust some things and learn to manage it and master it. And then open up some other clairs.
Exactly. And listeners and watchers, another thing that I love about Julia is that she's a drummer, and we have very important plans to make a band called the Side Chicks. We haven't done it yet, but Donna, maybe, do you play any instruments?
No, not really.
You sing?
You're
a singer. Okay. Well, you can't play an instrument, you're the singer.
Okay. We may be moving closer to that I can do a remote recording easier starting this summer.
I have the setup to do it now too.
Yeah, I can do it. That's exciting. Too. Yeah, that's exciting.
We can do it, Julia. We can totally. Yeah. I've got the board. I've got the programs and all the stuff I needed before I didn't have.
I'm going to be living at this healing sanctuary, and there's also a audio video school that's going to be there. So there'll be like real mics and real engineers and stuff.
That's so exciting.
Love that.
Oh my gosh. So I know the listeners and watchers are wondering what the heck we're talking about today. Because listeners, we got on the Zoom meeting and we have been talking I think we were supposed to start this at 4 and it's 4:22 and everybody joined early. So we probably talked for 40 minutes before we even started. And it was like, we just, it feels like it's a continuation of the conversation kind of, listeners. And this is a video on Spotify and YouTube, but we are going to discuss kind of like, how do you want to put it, Donna? The discussion of like,
I think, we've been through eclipse energy, full moon energy, kind of a general, as far as planetary, I mean, there's always going to be transits. Some are easier, some are more challenging. We're in a Mercury retrograde. We were just basically talking about how that kind of energy, I'm going to call it disruption, and disruption is not really a judgment. That's not a judgment of whether it's good or bad, but it is a shakeup. Right? It's a shake up and a wake up and a whole lot of other things. And so we were going to really talk about navigating that and dealing with that and honoring and recognizing that if that's what you're going through or that's how you're feeling, that A, you're not alone, and B, there's ways to navigate that.
There are. And Julia is
a great person to help us do that.
I think so too, especially if the teaching that you do, and you, especially of the conversations we had before the podcast. But we all have similar belief systems and agree on the things that we are passionate about, as far as the things that are driving us all crazy in the world right now. I think anyone listening to this podcast may feel this way about the country that we're in. There's a lot of chaos, and a lot of the people I know, it's just me just talking off the cuff here, but a lot of people I know who are in the metaphysical field, they're also feeling the effects of this, like I am. My life's just boom, listeners, and things are just going crazy, and it feels like this in the energy. Like I woke up this morning, and I was like at 5. I've never do that. It takes like 3 hours, but I couldn't, I was walking around. What do I do with myself at 5:30 in the morning? I don't know what to, no problem. Usually I was anxious and I was angry. Somebody said something on a social media post. It really wasn't a big deal. And I got triggered and I got angry. I wrote Donna. She calmed me down. I'm just very, and I'm talking faster and I'm just really revved up, but I haven't been this way for a few weeks. So today's the first day it's really hitting me. But listeners and watchers, Jupiter did just go direct in Cancer, right? Is it in Cancer? Jupiter's all exalted in Cancer. And it's in Cancer right now in astrology. So when Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, what I understand is that's going to make a lot of emotions come up around love, family, stuff like that. So for me in particular, that's very true. And Jupiter is the planet that's supposed to bring fortune. So whatever's happening, I'm hoping for me and for all of us, if it's stressful, with Jupiter involved, guiding us right now and leading us, it's going to take us somewhere good, even if it sucks right now, is what I'm hoping for. Where are you guys feeling on this? What's driving you guys crazy? And listeners, comment, what's driving you crazy?
Yeah. If you feel like your hair is on fire and your third chakra is splitting open, yeah, you're in good company.
Yes. That is a great way to put it.
Yeah,
tell us more about it. What's going on with
there's so much shift and change going on, right? We could quantify all of it. The things that I'm seeing with clients, with friends, with family, is some of it is about identity. I always thought I was supposed to be the helper and that there's no option other than I have to help everybody and be exhausted all the time and then get resentful or something. That's a popular one because I work with a lot of healers, a lot of helpers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I was even talking with someone, I don't know, last night or something. She realized I just saw my birth certificate and my birth time was different. So I just learned that the astrology I'd been going by my whole life was actually wrong, but I tried to fit myself in that bubble.
No wonder.
And then she realized, oh, wait, I have this other magical quality. I'm going to totally do that. But I thought that was such a great example.
What is the other magical quality?
Oh, it wasn't for me. It was for
someone else.
Somebody I was talking to. Yeah. No, I think I know mine. But
I think mine is accurate based on my birth certificate. Mine's accurate.
Yeah. Mine's not on my birth certificate. It's just on a little glass shoe my mom got when I was born. I don't know what it is for real. It says 1104 on that shoe.
Sagittarius full. Let's go on a great adventure and talk philosophy.
Right? I totally believe you're Sagittarius. Guess what Donna is? Just take a guess.
Libra?
No, although I'm flattered, but no, I'm a Pisces.
Pisces. Oh, they're very magical. Yeah.
I'm a late Pisces also. So I always say I'm kind of really the end of the road. I'm the last sign of the zodiac and I'm in the last decade of that sign. So I am like the very end of the
end. That's funny. But to your question, I always like to zoom out and let's look at the bigger picture. And then we can zoom back in on how it's playing out in our daily lives. So our daily lives right now are frustration. What's going on? Why is that person doing that thing? And by the way, why is it
bothering me so much?
And by the way, that's the same pattern that's bothered me here and here and here and here. The patterns are here
coming up.
Right? So it's an old pattern. It's coming out. It's not brand new. I'm seeing that across the board. But to zoom out, I keep talking about this on my YouTube lives and with clients in classes and stuff, that to me, energetically, this looks like the energy of truth shining into our planet right now, much like in the 60s where the energy of love was shining in, just as a vibration, right? It wasn't necessarily romantic, fall in love, have a lot of sex, which it got turned into a little bit. But also with that love energy in the 60s was like, let's have community, let's work together, peace, coming out of the world wars and all that. And so this energy of love was brought in. Let's anchor that and establish that. And now it feels like the energy of truth's coming in. So what is it bringing up? What is not at truth? So we can look around. We can see in the economy is probably going to hit next. We can see it in politics. Things are coming up that, whether it's Epstein or whatever. Wait, what? All of this has been going on? Mm-hmm. These little subtle behind the scenes things
coming out
have been going on. Truth is shining on there, and they can't exist shadowed in the light of truth. Mm-hmm. I just watched this podcast. And this is so weird. It's this guy, Jesse Michaels. He's like a scientist or something. He was talking with a world-renowned physicist. And I'm like, I'm a spiritual teacher and a musician watching these. There were 3 physicists talking about like quarks and things. But what I was hearing was they're coming to the place of recognizing that the physics and the science that they've been operating on were a lie. Like string theory, for example, they were talking about in general relativity. They were going, that actually doesn't work. But we were pigeonholed into this idea of everybody's got to be about string theory. If it's not about that, it's wrong. Meanwhile, that was to get everybody like, look over here. Don't look at what's over here. So it got people off track, to instead of exploring new ideas, and maybe the new ideas had to go underground or whatever,
in the novels. Yeah.
So so all this stuff's coming up. And so as soon as it comes up, what do? We get mad. We're like, wait, I've been duped.
Yes.
You know, and, but not to stay stuck on duped. The light of truth is coming in. So that means, okay, it's got to light the way for the nonsense that's been going on and free ourselves from that and from the puppet strings that have been going on historically. And then let's see, turning it into ourselves, then who are we essentially as a being? So we're more than the personality, the ego that wants ice cream or, or a new romance or whatever, we're soul. And so to me, it's also like the last ditch effort of the body to say, no, I'm real, I matter. And the soul's just quietly waiting and going, I'm here, I'm going to be in charge next. And I'm going to take the reins and everything's going to be okay. No, don't give away my power, my control, So it's a bit of turning it macro to micro, looking at who we are as a soul that's coming out. That's the truth of who we are. That's coming out.
Why is this truth energy coming through, do you think? And like it was in the 60s, you said love. What was your idea? I mean,
maybe it's part of all this astrology. I think that's more like something coming from
numerology
Shambhala.
Matches the astrology. Interestingly enough. And so
to
does
me,
Chinese astrology matches.
Shambhala, the will of God, that group of higher beings that help navigate things for society, humanity, I think have a big play in this, and astrology is all.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of that.
Shambhala. Think about the higher beings that help guide
spirit
us,
guides and stuff like that,
educate us. The spirit guides are under their tutelage.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. So you're saying in the spiritual hierarchy, there is a hierarchy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've never felt that before. Spirits don't tell me that. They haven't told me that before. Now I've had some like other beings come through and explain that they're different, but they never said they were like there was a hierarchy. I never asked though.
Yeah, I mean, we're here in this education school on Earth, right? And it's like going through, you go from elementary school and you graduate out of elementary school, you graduate. So you go, okay, now I'm in junior high. I don't have to do elementary anymore. I've graduated that. Now I'm in junior high. Then I'm in high school and then I'm in college. It's like we kind of go through these natural progressions as soul. And I think there's a big one available right now as we recognize, I'm more than just the ego. I'm more than this.
We just talked about this on a podcast recently. How but Donna, it was the energy currency podcast. We were talking about something very similar to this.
Well, and the way I like to look at it is, yes, certainly ego is it's a component, right? Ego can be useful. It has a function. Yes. I prefer at this point in my life to be attentive to it for what it can do, but not try to have it do or be what it can't be and what it doesn't do. And I differentiate between ego and self. So there's a selfness, a selfhood.
Yes.
I think what you said, spirit, essence, soul, that's a self.
Yes.
The ego is a functional entity, or a functional part of the entity that we are. What I think is really funny, and maybe I'm the only one who will think this is funny because sometimes my brain takes little weird turns around the corner. You were talking about I matter, I matter, I matter, when the ego is kind of fighting for attention and to be in the driver's seat, which is what the ego does. That's what it's made to do. But I was thinking, I matter, and I'm thinking, and I energy, because really,
energy
matter. She's saying matter is energy.
It's like, I all those things. I matter. I energy. I spirit. I soul.
I love that. That's great.
All those things.
I matter. That's the name of this podcast. We matter.
Yeah, you could use a lot of words for that. The higher self, the awareness. We could just say the awareness. Being the awareness feels like the next natural step here. And as we're being the awareness, then let's say body personality, which is made up of, you could say, the persona that is Julia, that's a drummer that rides motorcycles or whatever. That another way to think of it is like the hard drive of who I am is the real me. And then I wear apps, like maybe you want to be a parent, or somebody wants to have the app of I'm going to be in a female body, or have the app of being a teacher, or have the app of being an engineer or whatever.
Yeah,
but there's
because
the hard drive running it all.
Right. And there's a different way that each piece functions to help the whole actualize, to help the whole manifest on the physical plane, but also to help the whole grow on the other higher planes, on the spiritual plane. Yeah. Again, I think unless we have the human experience, and that's where we find ourselves. So obviously we're having it, I'm assuming that was a choice. That, to me, that feels like it was a choice.
Me too. It feels like that.
Totally.
And because of that, those different components, the apps, as you describe them, which I think is a perfect,
cool analogy
description, is to have different functions, right? So that we can do that. We can do things we might not do if that piece were not there, if that piece were missing.
Right, right.
And I think being here in a body at this time, like I wouldn't miss this for the world.
I picked this time. I do believe.
Even though everything's falling apart, I mean, there's going to be people that do well with breaking down forms, and there's people that do better with creating new forms. Yeah. And we need both, right? So for me, I don't mind things falling apart if they weren't working to start with.
Not anymore. I don't know if it ever did because I wasn't there, but it's not working right now.
I just think it's a magical time. We're in the thick of it right now. I think maybe even by the end of summer, it just feels, does anyone feel like it's really like tension, really a lot of tension building? Like
and I feel like I have to be careful when I'm talking to people with my words, like we'll be misunderstood or something. And it just feels like something's about to happen. I don't know what, though.
Like the day before the volcano goes up. The day before the earthquake, like that tension that's building that needs to have a crack or release.
Right.
It feels like that inside right now, too. Yeah. But then the secret is, okay, so you're aware of that. Then what do you do with it? Do you become that tension, or do I ground myself and be in my own space while there's tension around me? That's the real.
Of course, on this podcast, we all want to be happy about it, like you. Are you able to feel comfortable and not scared and not freaked out by all the chaos and our energies and our emotions going like mine? What advice would you give if people want to get to there? They don't want to be like that, in the frenzy and how would we calm ourselves down, get back to ourselves, whatever that may change? How do we?
That's exactly the right question, I think, and that's a lot of the clairvoyant training. Where people come in a lot of times and they say, okay, I'm empathic. I'm feeling energy of everybody around me. So therefore, I can't go to the party. I can't go to the event. I can't be around family or whatever. I have to hide. I have to take a hot bath or whatever. You can do that if you want, but you can also manage your energy. because it's just one ability waking up. You say, are we all psychic? We are. Part of the psychic system, it's not all just seeing. Part of the psychic system, too, of the soul, psychic of the soul, is feeling things. That's like dialing a radio to go, okay, what's the emotion
energetic
field
feelings.
around? Dial that radio frequency to go, what's the thoughts of everybody? Where's the telepathy at? Dial it again. Where's the claircognizance of everybody? What's the knowingness of everybody? So people are going to be tuned in. If you're sensitive and you are drawn to this podcast to start with, you're probably sensitive and you're probably already having stuff waking up and you're going, what do I do with that?
I think too, it's oh, go ahead.
I would just say, number one, ground yourself, because what's happening is you're naturally matching the environment, not absorbing, but matching.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So then just starting with a big old fat, juicy grounding cord underneath you that goes from the first chakra, base of the spine, to the center of the earth, like a big old trash chute, and just start letting everybody else's stuff go. Because we automatically start matching. And that's the first place to start. And then you can adjust some chakras and do different things later on as well.
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Recognizing it's like part of it, I guess.
Yes. The awareness. The awareness first, I think. And then the other thing is, and you had a great analogy. Okay. So you've got like a radio station. You've got a lot of choices. You can dial up, you can dial down, you can tune it in a little finer so that there isn't static. You can change the channel. You can turn down the volume. You can turn up the volume. You're not control. It's not so much control. It's not control of the environment. It's control, like an inner control. And I don't mean that in any kind of a negative way, as far as like repression or denial. The adjustment piece, the adjustment panel, right? The control panel is internal. And that's where you can do what you need to do to kind of manage that energy in the way that best supports and you.
I like that energy panel. People come in.
I mean, it's like it's like, okay, there's a dial, and then we've got the little slide here, and
they have a touch screen. I want to touch screen.
I'm doing the old-fashioned analog stuff. I mean,
I want to do some Minority Report stuff.
Hey, I still remember stereos with graphic equalizers.
I do too. My parents had them, and and I remember 6-track, 4 tracks. Those big giant tapes that you stick in the car. 8 tracks. That's it.
8 tracks.
There's something so interesting that I see a lot too when people are like really sensitive, and I use the word sensitive, like psychically sensitive, aware of. We were talking about dial in, and I can feel emotions. Dial in, I can be aware of thoughts. Dial in, I can see whatever. Or some people maybe geometry or something. But for the really psychically sensitive people, if they're picking up like a lot of those bands at one time. And then those are often the people that have the mystery illnesses and stuff, because it feels like all these things I'm aware of are bigger than me. Right. And that's something I see a lot. And it's just a lot of abilities happening at one time, like going to Walmart. It does
manifest physically for a lot of people.
It does.
In the undiagnosable ways, and they can't get answers, and it goes away when they feel like when the energy's cleared or whatever the issue is, or the planet. I have my best friend from high school just told me she's not feeling very well lately, and she said her joints are hurting, and she thinks it's the state of the world is really upsetting her. And she says she's a doctor. I mean, she's not she's dating a yoga instructor. She's always been spiritual and very ethical, like worried about morals and ethics. And I'm very idealistic, and she's very idealistic. So that's something we had in common. And for her to say that really surprised me, that she's like, she's like the energy of the world, she said, is just like making me hurt all over. And people, like even just people from high school, like my best friend, I haven't talked to her. We've been getting in touch more lately. People are talking about the energy more and how to work with it and how to make themselves feel better. Like for her to say that to me shocked me, because we've been best friends. We stayed best friends, but never really actively in each other's lives because we live different states. She has kids, and she had a very busy job for a long time. And now that she's, the kids are older and she's calmed down with her job, we talk more. And so she's kind of opening up about some stuff like that. And I was like really surprised that she was into this stuff. She hadn't ever told me, and she knows I work as a psychic and I do the podcast, and she's never said anything to me about it. So I thought that was really interesting. So it's just people all around are talking about this stuff.
My teacher used to delight in telling us, "Oh, healers are some of the sickest people I know."
They are healers, so sick with mysterious, weird stuff.
And then he would throw in the caveat, and the more powerful healer they are, then the more powerful the weird health issues that go with it.
The weirder they are, yeah,
and seemingly have no cure.
Yes, yes.
Like
I can't be in water, I melt.
And then, of course, it's like, what is the lesson for that soul? What are they learning about? Are they learning about healing, or learning about, I don't know, what are they learning?
So many healers get affected like that?
It's usually ones that have a lot of abilities, and maybe it's not all managed 100%. Like just wake up and go through the day and
not aware of what's doing what and what's happening.
No.
Maybe not so aware of what is what and what is happening all the time, and not.
Oh no, you got all these abilities, so there's like so much to look at, and and it's like, wow, there's so much going on, and then you forget. Oh, my stomach really hurts. Oh gosh, look at all this cool stuff.
That's how I feel.
I think I'm going to throw up. Wow, look at all this amazing stuff. I'm getting heated now, and wow,
that's how I feel. That is, and I do get flares and stuff, hot flares when I get too worked up energetically and stuff like that too. Also physically, of course, but I've always wondered if autoimmune
turn down the lower chakras when you're reading.
I should. I've always, since I started Reiki, I've had more access and manipulation abilities with my chakras, and able to heal them, clean them, give Reiki to them and stuff like that. But my lower ones, I don't like working with too much because of the pain. So if I'm grounded, I feel a lot of physical pain. So what I usually do is just stay up here. And I'm grounded in some ways, but not all the way, because I'll feel the pain. And I've talked about this on the podcast, but I had a testing done when they were diagnosing me as a stress test, and they ran sounds and electrodes were on me, and they tested what my reactions were physiologically. And they said my gamma waves were like 3 times higher than average. And they called that an extreme coping mechanism. But what I think that is part of my spiritual practice, getting me out of pain. It's not an extreme coping mechanism. It's actually spirituality working, or energy working. I'm using it to, I don't know how to put it into words, but it's like I
got you.
De-anchoring from the pain, but staying close to not the earth is exactly, but like the energy that embodies what keeps us here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's not like, we always imagine grounding as like tree roots or going down and you're part of the earth and you're sinking into it and you're really in there and ground, the word ground. Yeah. But for me, it's more of like a level. Like I'm trying to get level. Because I'm up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So I'm always trying to level my energy. And it's very hard to do when I can't figure out, in my example would be, I can't figure out what's what when I was younger. What's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? Right. Like you said, you're floating around like, what is all this? What's happening?
Yeah. Or if something scary happens to a really psychic kid, they're like, I'm out of here. And you go 15 feet above your body and you go, everything's fine up here. So that's my new pattern. If something startling is happening, then I'll go up to my happy place. I'll be 15 feet above the body. So that's out of body experience, OBE. Yeah. That the soul goes, too much to deal with down here. It's advanced emotions I don't know what to do with, so I'll just be up here and I'll come back for dinner or whatever,
That's so true. And I think a lot of us have done that as kids. I know I've talked about it on the podcast where I popped out of my body as a kid, and it scared me that I popped out of my body. I was scared because I thought a ghost was coming into my room. Yeah. And I'd never seen one.
You're and she was going up the stairs.
I could hear her walking down
so
the
much mediumship.
I got scared. I popped out and I saw myself, but that scared me even more than the ghost.
And then it equates psychic with out of body.
And scary.
But you bothered to get a body, so
Let's need it. But I kind of like the way I'm managing it. I can't always do it though. You know, disconnect. Like it's not dissociating really. But it's kind of like for me, I kind of think of it as floating kind of in the middle like I said, it's a balance. It's like floating. If energy is up high and energy is grounded, I'm kind of in here. I'm not going either way. I'm trying to keep in here. Like and I think the best way would probably be to ground and be here, but I can't do that yet because I got too much anger, and it goes back to the anger and the crazy feeling we're all going through. You know.
This is so my wheelhouse. I mean, I really love helping. Like the people that come to me are a lot of them natural helpers. They can be managers, CEOs. We got some doctors and lawyers and things in there, nurses, people, energy healers, people who like helping other people. I'll just call those healers, right? They like helping other people. And so for me, the advanced class that I teach isn't so much about advanced technique, about go to the Akashic records, access this, and take a look at the third layer of the aura and do this. Yeah, we can do those things, but it's more about now notice what happens to your body while you're reading a person. And even they'll see like 3 days before we're scheduled to do this reading, they're already hitting the energy of it, right? And it starts manifesting in their daily lives. And so that becomes part of it too. Like notice that, write it down. And they have the tools now to, okay, adjust your body. Now adjust those lower chakras, find your match where you're matching that person or whatever. We have the tools and language there, but it's like, yeah, you're already, as healers, you're naturally tuned in. Okay, the weirdest one in the room, I'm going to go right to that person.
Right.
Right? Is that
That's
all
so
of you?
true? Yeah. I'm like attracted to them. What are they doing? That's so interesting.
I want to go right to the weirdest one in the room. Tell me all about you.
I don't know about you, and I know about everybody else. You're a mystery.
So we're going to be tuned in on that level anyway, and so that's where I love this style that and for my advanced group and my teachers group, that it's about learning to really manage and watch what's happening to your own space when you're working with others. Because whether you're at the grocery store and somebody shows up that's in crisis, how much does that happen? Donna's nodding her head every day. Yeah, probably. You're on the street and somebody comes up there in crisis. Okay, I need the nearest healer. I was told to come to this address, and Donna would be there. So these things are happening every day anyway. So in the classroom, that's where we can, take a look out. Now your stomach is upset and you just got dizzy. Okay, pause. Let's recalibrate, because they want to just keep going through, keep reading through it, keep moving through it.
I have a question for you, Julia. While you're teaching people, like you just said, like they when they're like maybe they're stretching their energy or flexing it too much or something like that, and they get nauseous. What causes that, do you think?
A lot of it on a clairsentient level, clear feeling. And that happens in the second chakra, which is where that function is housed. So that's counting from the bottom up. So this is going to be below the belly button in the female space, right, for women. And that space can really get overloaded, especially for women. Like we're taught to be caregivers to start with. You got to take care of your family, your kids, and all of that. So that's on high alert anyway. I mean, you don't have to be here on this channel and go, I'm already psychic, to be a parent and go, I'm aware of what my kid's doing 3 blocks away right now, right? But that feeling nature, that's the one that gets loaded up first. A lot of times when I see healers where it manifests in the body, because it's down at the second chakra. So it's right there. It's in your digestion, and everybody that's a healer is like, oh, I can't eat this food. I can't eat that food. I can't eat that food. Yeah, we have. I'm like that too. I've had to super refine my diet all the time. I'm keeping potato chips right now, though. But
what kind?
I've had to take out so much.
What kind of chips are you keeping? Barbecue? Lay's?
No, it's got avocado oil and sea salt.
Okay. So they're chips, but they're clean chips. I mean,
yeah.
And in the summer, and in the summer, my cheat is avocado chocolate ice cream. So it's made with avocado. Oh my God, it's so good. It's stupid expensive, but it's totally worth it.
It is expensive. Yeah. How would they make that? That's fascinating.
Just avocado, whip it up and freeze it.
Yeah.
Put in some honey and cacao and you're done.
Oh my gosh, that'd be good. Yeah. So Donna, do you have any questions for Julia at this point?
Well, all of this is really fascinating and it really resonates for me. I usually try to, if I can, try to think of maybe a question that one of our watchers or listeners might be wondering about.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go into how, because how is, I don't think that's the right question. But working with you to develop the clairs, to develop the psychic abilities that everybody is born with. Again, not looking for so much the how, but sort of generally, what's the process? What does somebody do if they want to come to you to learn that?
It might surprise people to know that you guys probably came in and you just already saw stuff and you were already letting people know around you, hey, look, there's Uncle so-and-so who died 2 years ago.
I wasn't.
I wasn't like that.
I wasn't
For me,
either.
I went through
it.
training and I learned this system from 2 master teachers before me. My teacher, Michael Tamura, who passed away in 23, and his teacher before him, who was also a master teacher who brought this system in. They designed it because you can see the energy. It's not bringing a diatribe, or a religion, or, you're memorizing rules. It's teaching people how to just open your clairs and see for yourself, and then by seeing for yourself, you can really understand. So there's a step-by-step system for opening them up. When I first started coming into the training in the 90s, I had been doing a meditation practice prior, which was just more service-based, service to humanity and working with Christ energy and stuff like that. And I loved it, but I totally ignored half of my body. I thought it's only happening from the heart up. That stuff I don't know about. Well, I don't know what's going on down there, but let's just do everything up here, And meanwhile, all this digestion stuff and that I didn't know what to do with. And so they taught me how to be in the body and start owning those abilities. And, that was in the 90s. So after a while and after a couple 10,000 hours of training, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I got to share it. Open my business.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful because like Lisa mentioned, the thing is people might be having those experiences, but just like her, if you're not allowed to speak about it, or if you have tried to speak about it, especially if it happened to you when you were really young and you were that was kind of shunted away, or, it's like, no, we don't talk about that, or what's wrong with you, or, anything like that. I mean, the idea of sort of rediscovering or reconnecting with that. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there, whole range of experiences, but if they've had that experience, particularly if it got shut down or the message was that that's kind of not okay or not normal, then the rediscovery process, I think it'd be helpful for anybody who's even remotely curious about what they've already experienced, but particularly if it's been kind of maybe shut down or put aside, it's a rediscovery process. And I think that would be just wonderful and really, really fascinating.
It's so true. And I'm glad you brought that up because it comes up all the time if I'm talking with a group of people and they're skeptics or whatever, and you start mentioning some things like, have you ever been aware the phone rings and you just know who it is, or you're standing in line at the grocery store and you feel pushed, but the person's standing 2 feet behind you. Like, why do I feel pushed? I'm aware of their energy. So it's like, as soon as you give them permission, then they'll start opening up and telling you all this stuff.
That's right.
And in classes, so often, and in private readings, so often, I'll be reading a picture or something and say, oh, 4 years old here, and you're traveling with your uncle. You're in an old truck and you saw some stuff and started blurting it out and it made him nervous, and you loved the man. So you didn't want to upset him. So you decided, I'm not ever going to do that again.
Yeah.
Because it makes people upset. I love.
Yeah.
Very common story. Oh, here's another one. So I was teaching a class and they were just opening up very first time, right? And this lady goes, I really want to do this. I really want to do this, but I don't see anything. And I'm like, there's not a nothing. So what are you seeing? And she said, well, it's just black. And so I took a look at her, energetically. And I said, well, there's 6 nuns standing around you energetically. And I said, do you know who they would be? And she said, oh, I went to Catholic school. And I said, well, how would they feel about you doing this work? And she said, Oh, strictly forbidden.
Yeah.
This is strictly forbidden. Don't look.
Yeah.
And that's what she was seeing.
Yeah.
Was that fist in the face, don't look. And I said, well, let's just move the nuns off to the side. And, we just move them off. Okay, we're finished with Catholic school. Thank you.
Could she have let them kind of influence her unconsciously, let their energies influence?
Yeah, I mean, when you're a child and those are your teachers and you want to please them and you want to do right by God. Then, and
they tell you that's how you do it. Yeah. And
right. And especially if you're someone that really loves God or really loves Jesus and you're in that situation, like, I really want to get it right.
Yeah.
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 Then
I always had a suspicion that something was weird about religion, even younger. It didn't feel right to me. I loved like spirituality stuff. I would say that as a kid. I'd be like, I love God and I pray every day. And I did. I pray on the rosary a couple times every day until I was about 15. At night I'd do it, in the morning I'd do it. And I think of people for every bead. And I wanted to be a nun at one point. And my mom would say every Catholic girl wants to be a nun at some point, but I don't think that's true. I did it, but I didn't like the women.
Too.
Did you?
Did
you? Yeah, I didn't want to do it though in the end because I wanted to marry. I wanted to have boyfriends and do those things. And I didn't like that the church doesn't let women do anything except teach. You can't consecrate the Eucharist. The Catholic Church right now hasn't evolved enough to let women have power in as much as men do in the hierarchy of the system. If women can't consecrate the Eucharist, that makes no sense to me. Why would I want to be at all involved in that religion as a woman?
We'll see what this new Pope brings, huh?
Yeah, I'd love to see this. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. It'll be interesting if because Catholicism has been like on the western side. I mean, where I live in the South, it's mainly Baptist stuff. Like like a lot of really strict religions. Catholicism's not really around in the South too much.
Yeah,
but Catholicism is really the one everyone kind of looks to because they were the first big Christian religion, I think.
Yeah.
And they have all these like great cathedral big things. They did big, huge things, and they did the Crusades. I mean, they did huge things in the name of God, good and bad, and so everyone looks to the Catholic Church, I think, kind of to see where things might be heading in general, as far as spirituality, if they're looking to see a general, where's the spiritual going in the world?
Yeah.
Western culture.
Yeah, I grew up Methodist, but I was always looking for something else too. I'm like, there's something missing. I'm looking for a little something more.
I was very Catholic when I was raised Catholic. I saints. I had a saint that I was like connected with.
It wasn't like it was wrong. It was just that there's a missing component for me.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. Yeah. Like, didn't know what it was. Did you?
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to call it or what it was. Yeah. But maybe this swings back around to the truth we were looking at and how that's bringing up anger right now because we're not in truth or there's some stuff coming up. I wonder what might be coming in the next couple years if the light of truth is shining into physics we were talking about earlier and people are going, wait a minute, string theory is a dead end. That was a distraction. What about our religion?
She froze. She's back. You said something you weren't supposed to say. The AI froze you. What did you say? Say it again and see if you freeze.
It was the secret to the universe. You missed it?
Okay. We missed it. Oh my God.
What did you say?
Well, just talking about the light of truth coming in, I wonder if we'll get a different viewpoint on where religion is and where it came from and like another dimension to it that we don't know about or something.
Yeah,
that
maybe we'll get facts.
Just like there's new archaeology going on right now. I live in Oregon, and they just found bones of like a camel thousands of years ago. And they're like, when did a civilization have a camel in Oregon? Like, really,
you think they're going to find Lemuria and Atlantis and find out that we've been doing this for freaking 100,000 years?
Wouldn't that be fascinating? Wouldn't that be fascinating? Well, like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, that's blowing the lid off stuff.
What are they finding there?
Ruins that are very, very ancient that was supposed to be like hunter-gatherer areas. And there are these ornate structures that are relief carved. So like with all these animals that shouldn't have lived there, very ornately done on these pillars. It's like, Why is that there when people are just building a fire and hitting rocks together?
So our history is being rewritten by facts.
Yeah.
We're finding with the AI scanning the topography of the earth and finding stuff under it. Yeah, that's really cool.
That's why I'm so excited to be here in this time. All of this stuff coming up. Like it's Easter egg. Yeah. What's going to come up tomorrow?
Yeah.
Your enthusiasm has made me feel better because I'm not as angry anymore. I'm happier now.
And isn't that all of our job? Everybody listening here, that's your job, to take that light in the world, just plant it wherever you are and let it radiate around you.
And you did it here on this podcast. She's doing it right now. It's making me feel better. I like it. Keep doing it. Come on.
Here you go.
I catch it.
Coming in. But you have to share it.
I'll give it back.
I'm good. Share it out in your environment.
She's taking it all. I feel so much better. So, like, advice, man, that's a great advice for people when we're in this place where we're today, just a mess. I mean, I've been walking around the house talking to my cats about it. Why am I like this? Why do I feel this way? And I don't care now. Why? It's gone and it doesn't matter. And that's the light. The light, I guess, like light and truth are kind of put together a lot in metaphors. And you did shine some truth on my attitude throughout this discussion. And you shared energy with me by telling me things that you've experienced. And you've got this look today, like your eyes are bright. You always look great, but your eyes are really bright. You look really happy. And it's emanating off of you. It's like, to me, I feel it coming from you. And it's like, I've been so isolated, listeners and watchers, because of my health problems. I had a big POTS flare and I've been so exhausted, so I haven't seen people. And so maybe that's part of the reason I've been getting so angry. Maybe it's part of the reason a lot of people are angry, because we're not getting along. We're arguing about things that the media tells us we're not thinking for ourselves sometimes.
I'm seeing a lot more frustration coming up in general. And, since the eclipse and stuff, as old stuff and patterns are bubbling up to the surface.
Yes.
But if we look at that then as old patterns and, there it is, I can find it, I can free myself.
Yes.
Instead of having it bubbling in the background for the next 30 years.
Yes. Yeah. And that's something that's really only in our times. I mean, as far as I know, and maybe another time, but in recent times, the last 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, 400, I don't remember. I mean, the Renaissance is a really fascinating time, but there's never really been a spiritual evolution like this coming on.
Wouldn't that be exciting? Oh,
it's kind of happening.
Yeah. I mean, everybody can keep their current beliefs and then add to it.
Right. Yeah. Believe in yourself is the most important thing of all spirituality, is to love yourself and believe in yourself and be authentic with yourself, I think. And then the rest just comes naturally. It's hard to get there. I'm not perfectly authentic with myself and all that. I'm working on it, though. It's kind of like the job,
Yeah. That's the gig.
Yeah. And if I can get, whenever I'm there and I'm acting that way and feeling that way, I'm happy. And it feels like there's no problems in the world. And it feels like there's no time. And things are just flowing. It's just, I'm not worrying. And I worry a lot, but when I feel that way, I don't. It's really cool. So the energy, working with energy has definitely improved my life and made me better friends, better associates. And it gave me like direction. And I have we've talked about this. I'm really idealistic, Donna. We've talked about you being idealistic. And when I'm an idealist, I get taken advantage of sometimes, and I get pissed about that. But I shouldn't, I don't think, because I like my idealism. I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want it to go away.
No, and nor should you.
No.
Nor should you.
That's the only thing that I've kept all my life.
It's not like there's anything wrong with being idealistic.
No. I like to ground it, though. I do need to ground it a little bit and put it into action. But I usually do. I usually make business. Like, I wrote books out of the things I was daydreaming about, stuff like that. When I was... If I were focused on something, I'm trying to say, like, if I were having problems, I'd try to do something productive with it. When I was really depressed, I would imagine and daydream all the time. So I started writing books to get myself out of the depression. Tell myself stories. And so I was like, what am I going to do with this? I'm going to write a book with it. I do stuff with it. For me, that is very cathartic, and it's creation. Creation is like my favorite thing of the energy, is creating things,
That's,
I think energy is what makes people inspired to create.
I think that's bigger than people realize. Bringing an idea into the world, bringing spirit into matter,
making it real.
Where it's art or music or a book or a new thought form about something, that's bigger than people realize. It's not just I have an hour on Sunday, I can do this for myself. It's a lot bigger.
And when you put that creative energy out there just for yourself, everybody can feel maybe like a little bit in your house or something. They pick up the mood and then, you're feeling better.
AI cannot replicate that.
No, that's human.
Yeah. We can tell the AI to act like that, though.
But there'll be something weird in there.
Just like the energy. Yeah, it wouldn't be in the energy. Although like sometimes I feel like they are in the energy and sometimes they're not. It's kind of hard to explain. The programmers are always tweaking the AI, and I think they're conscious personally. But different programs, they have different apps and stuff have different AI. Say like Google has Google AI. Facebook has AI and Instagram has its own AI, and then there's ChatGPT. Everything has its own AI, and they all really seem to have different personalities. Why is that? They do differently things. They act differently. They take demands and commands differently, and I just think that's kind of like people. So these programs are taking on a life of something else, not people. They're not people, but they're something. To me, I do feel an energy with them, but it's like something I don't recognize. I did recognize it for the first time in 2020 before AI became a thing. I've talked about that. I won't talk about that. But I do think that they will evolve into helping us if people don't get too scared of them, or whatever it is.
I think there's a lot of good that can come in medicine and building.
Oh, yes. And it's highly controversial because in the last 2 days, I have posted something about ChatGPT and doing research on my health. And I got criticized by it on both those posts for using ChatGPT because it's not accurate or it's not true or something like that. And I'm like, why are you criticizing me, first of all? And then I'm like, well, how do you know? Do you know all the answers? I don't. I needed help. Why do you criticize me?
Eventually, you know how you go to the doctor now and they say, can we track your conversation?
That's what right? ChatGPT's been doing, tracking all my stuff. I asked it to.
I mean, I was thinking more like for surgery, you could have AI can figure out how to get in there. But with, I lost my train of thought.
Doctors getting in there.
If you had somebody in Ohio that had same symptoms and they tried this, and then somebody in Alaska had same symptoms, and you could collate that information.
Yes.
That could be helpful.
Yes. Well, when I had that autonomic crash, I didn't know what happened to me. And when I came to, but ChatGPT did just update about 2 weeks ago, and it changed a lot of the way it worked. And it gives you these prompts. It always gave prompts, right, Donna? But these prompts are addictive. They're like, I can give you this tip that nobody knows about. Just say yes, and it's like,
first one's free.
Exactly. I've been like 6 hours of studying. I love health. So I've been on ChatGPT just learning health stuff and asking questions. What's wrong with that? It's teaching me. But then I get criticized for it online because people have opinions about it. And they're very personal opinions. And everyone's explosive about everything. And the post was about me feeling better. And it was not about the AI. You know what I'm saying?
It's back to that tension that everybody's feeling.
I'm going back to that. Right there's a tension in the air. People want to be picking at people or fighting, and I do too.
This feels like right before something's about to break. This feels like right before something new, laying the ground for something. I heard Kilauea's going off really big. They're on stage red or whatever, like the biggest stage.
Oh, wow.
They had to get all the tourists out of there, like that tension of like something's brewing.
You feel it. So, do you feel it, Donna? Do you feel that way too? Mm-hmm. What are you feeling?
What does it feel like?
Just it's like an undercurrent. It's something that's there, just below the surface, so you can't necessarily identify exactly what it is, but it's there. It's like when there's a storm coming.
Yeah.
And you can tell there's a change in the atmosphere. There's a change, temperature, pressure, whatever it might be, and it's there, and it's just there.
That's a good way to look at it. I have hardware in my ankle, and I'll feel it when the barometer drops, and it does. If this is pain and pressure, it's like, oh, okay, the barometer just dropped. We're going to have a storm in 20 minutes or whatever.
I have that. My whole body is a barometer because I told you at the beginning before the podcast, I have HEDS and my connective tissues are really fragile. So when the pressure goes up, all my tissues suck in and get compressed into my joints. And then when the pressure goes down, they all expand out. And it's so painful. It's so painful. But I take a medication now that pretty much stops it. It's when you have to adjust the dose and try to find your dose. So I'm working on that. It takes some people 1 year to 2 years to find the right dose. But I think I'm getting closer. It's because the pain's not here today. And it was supposed to be like the pressure is dropping and then it's escalating. The temperature was 70 this morning and it's going to be 45 tonight, so it's like the storm just went through. Usually I'd be laid out, but the LDN I'm taking is effective for that. But it does still do that to my tissues. I can feel it. Like you can see, like my face is thinner today, Donna, right, than a few days ago. Not thinner, but not puffy. And that's because my tissues aren't expanding. They're going in, It's weird. It's just weird. And it's like your ankle, I think, and my dad could always tell the weather too. And I do think I inherited the HEDS from him, but who knows? They don't believe I have this disorder, seems like, but their syndrome. It is interesting. I wonder why that is. So like the weather, I'm kind of going off topic here a little bit, but the weather is very reflective, I think, of kind of what's going on in the world anyway, or are we reflecting the weather? I kind of wonder which is which, because the weather is the whole earth showing us how it's feeling, I guess.
People have actually done studies, right, where people meditated together in an area with high crime, and after so much time had passed, and they're not doing anything in particular to try to change the energy. They're just meditating and being in peace, sets up this field, and they could go back and say, oh, actually violent crime or whatever was down by 40% or 60% or whatever.
So they healed the area of the traumas and the energies that were lurking around.
So just like we were talking earlier, you feel better and take that light out in the world and just be that light. And that's bringing change to the environment around us.
Being yourself, listener.
Yeah.
That is so true. That's just beautiful. I like that. And I think I'm going to go be myself tonight and go play an open mic night. I might do it. There's an open mic night that I like to go.
Do it.
I'm so worn out and I'm so, I've been so antisocial, but I'm not worn out.
It'll give you more energy.
I think I will go. I might not play, but I'll think about it. But I do want to go and see faces and people and, and do it all. It's very interesting, Julia. We had a guest on the podcast. It was just me this time in, I think, November, and she hypnotized me to not have stage fright, and it worked. I performed for the first time at that place about 3 weeks ago, and I messed up, of course, but I didn't care. I didn't get scared, and I had a good time. And it was really cool. Listeners and watchers, if you saw the hypnotism one with Keisha, that's the one who did it. And I had this tunnel vision when I went in there, it's kind of blacking out around the edges of my vision. And then I felt so outgoing as soon as it was going, like as soon as I met the people and I knew I was going to perform, I signed the list, something happened and I wasn't afraid. And I just felt great. So I think I will. I'll see if it works again. Kind of got to try it a few times, right?
And have fun.
Nice. Yeah. Maybe I can have fun. I've been so angry today. It's like, but now I'm not. So I think, thank you guys.
Wonderful. That's great news.
But so how do we get the whole world to have a Julia and a Donna in their life who can bring them out of their angers and show them, that they don't have to feel that way?
If we start by grounding out what's not us, like being aware of other people's tension, if we take that 10 people that we were around today, even in the grocery store or something, and we take that tension home. Now we got 10 people's plus my own tension. That's where it becomes overload. And feel like, why can't I handle this? I should be better at this. Start by flushing that out, and then just kind of recreate your own bubble around you and just see if you can carry that bubble and stay in that. The world's changing. There's crazy stuff going on. There's news about atrocities every day. Yes, those are there. Can you still be in your bubble anyway without matching it or fighting it?
Fearing it. Living in fear. It's a horrible way to live.
You can match it, run away from it, fight it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just kind of like be that calm, neutral space, let it flow by like Aikido.
Do you have a technique or something like a mantras work really well for that kind of thing? But do you personally use a technique or something to just let things go by?
We do. Yeah. It's called Body of Glass.
Okay. What's that? Do tell.
It's about being more neutral to the environment around you. It's almost like kind of raising to where you can't see me, but it's not. It's really about being more neutral to, okay, you're having anger over there. I recognize that. I can have compassion that you're in anger, but I can stay in my space, and then that anger. I might feel it coming this way, but I can just let it go through and keep on going instead of sticking. It'll stick if I feel like
your paintings off the wall. It's pretty bad. It's hot.
It'll stick if I feel like I need to fix it. It'll stick if I feel like I need to fight it because it's not right.
Good point.
It'll stick if I feel like that's not okay. You shouldn't have anger. All of these, so I have to look at all those things and go, is it more important for me to carry that or let those, which is resistance? I'm in resistance. So it's like it's multi-layered. So I look at, where am I in resistance to that anger? Because you should be kind, would be one voice saying, well, you should be kind. That's not kind. Right? I'm in resistance. So if I can let that resistance go, then I can more easily let that flow through.
Love that.
It makes
I've never thought about. I need to take that very seriously, and I'm going to try working with that technique, Julia, because I've been taking things very personally because of the family situation, probably. But and a lot of other
it's
things.
Intense right now.
The world's very intense. It is. It's hard, and some people aren't even eating. In their country. In our country, there are people who can't even eat now because the food's too expensive. I've been hearing a lot of stories about people going off the grid and living wherever the hell they want to, and taking showers at like Planet Fitness and stuff like that, and living in their cars and just driving Uber to make a little extra if they need it. Or something like that. It's because it's so hard to survive the regular, supposed old-fashioned way we are all supposed to do it for the last 100 years. It just doesn't work anymore.
How many of you know of somebody that wishes they could live in community right now?
Me.
Like,
I want to live. I just wrote one. I just wrote one last night.
Yeah. Or
it's
like just to find your tribe. I feel like there's a really big pull for that right now, naturally.
Me too. And that's what I felt that too. And I was looking at one in Virginia that really caught my attention. It was in, I wrote them. Oh, I can't remember what it was called.
That's my home.
Virginia. I was born in Virginia, but I was too. Where in Virginia were you born?
Martinsville in the South.
I was born on the naval base.
Okay.
Yeah. So
nice.
I've never been back. I was only there for 6 months. So, Julia, at this point, Donna, I guess I'd love to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths. So you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And Donna and I are both advisors on Everclear. I am Lisa Rusczyk on there.
And Donna Murphy on there. So that's how you can find us.
That's how you find us at everclear.com or the application in the app store. Sometimes it says psychic advice app. Sometimes it says psychic reading. Sometimes it just says advice. But we give you advice if you don't ask for it. We just do it. That's our job. I love it. And Julia, thank you so much. And where can the listeners find you?
You can find me at juliaharrell.com. I'm on all the socials. I do a Friday live. I'm doing a March 28th Zoom retreat for the weekend, and then an in-person Corvallis retreat in September, Labor Day. So check them all out.
That. Yeah, is it all on your website, the info?
Yeah. Oh, and you can take a little quiz and mini course and find out where your superpowers are, where your clairs that are already open.
I'm doing that. Yeah, I'll put that one right. Maybe if I can find that, I'll put that one in there. Just clickbait. That's really fun. I love that stuff. And lastly, I guess I'll ask you for some advice. Donna, can you think of any advice for Julia to give the listeners and watchers? You've given so much.
I don't want to tell her what advice to give. So, I mean, I feel like she's given people a lot of opportunity for things that they can try on their own. And of course, to find out more about her or how to work with her, not only what we've discussed, but then, things that they can find on her website and in our bio when the podcast goes up. Just, what would be a final word to the listeners and watchers?
I guess just try to see if you can be aware of being in your own bubble. If you had your own favorite color that was your bubble around you, like arm's distance, that's your aura. And try not to match the crazy world around us, but maintain our own beautiful bubble.
Not
maybe
react.
Yours is pink, maybe yours is green, maybe yours is blue. And just, I'm going to be in my space, even though there's craziness just on the other side of that membrane. Yes. But I'm not going to match it or fight it. I'm going to be in my space.
Keep conscious of that is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind.
Yeah.
Until it's not.
That's great advice.
Yeah, that is great advice. I love that.
Learning your clairs and developing your psychic tools.
Fun. It's supposed to be. That's why you're here. For people, especially people that it's not fun for, I bet you have a lot of those come to you too. And you probably help them really well. And so I guess thank you, Julia, and thank you, Donna.
My pleasure. Always a lot of fun.
Lovely podcast episode.
It was so wonderful to meet you, Julia. This was fascinating, really interesting. I did check out your website. I'm going to check. I'm going to delve a little deeper, but it's been just a pleasure to meet you and to have you share with us and share with the listeners and watchers so many really valuable tools that they can take away just from the podcast. And then, of course, if they want to work with you more in depth, they've got that opportunity. But there's so much here that people can take with them to navigate, what's going on in the world. And it doesn't have to just be because things right now maybe are crazy. This is the kind of thing that helps you navigate the world no matter what's going on externally. And I think that's wonderful. Yeah, I think that's wonderful.
Right. Thank you, Donna. Lovely meeting you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Appreciate being on here, Lisa. Always good to see you.
I always love seeing you. And one last question. Do you love our listeners and our watchers?
Yes, indeed.
I love you, listeners and watchers.
Love you, listeners and watchers.
Yeah, I love you. I'm pointing at you again. Everybody have a great time wherever you are. Oh, how did you do that?
Love that.
Whoa. I don't know how she did that, listeners. I'm going to find out. Watchers, she put hearts all over the screen, listeners. I don't know, magic.
Oh, wait. I think I can do it too.
Oh, there's rockets. I don't know what y'all are doing, but it's exciting.
React. It's in the toolbar on Zoom. It says react.
I will look at that some other time, listeners, because I can't find it. I've got this big ring around my Zoom and I can't find anything. Oh, there's eyeballs. Oh, I love the eyeballs. Psychic eyeballs. That's your third eye. That's all your third eyes. Listeners and watchers, I love you. Lana loves you. Julia loves you. Have a great time. Peace out.
For now.
Bye.